How's everybody doing today? It's Ready Freddy here, and today I'm going to be showing my showcase of the Morophon the Boundless deck that I made into a Spider-Verse deck with the new Spider-Man set that just recently come out for Magic. Now, if you're not familiar with him, he's a 7-cost commander and changeling, so he is every creature type. As he enters, you get to choose a creature type, which we will always be choosing spiders. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wooburg less to cast, and other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, 6/6. Alright. And truthfully, the main point of this commander, of this deck in general, is just to have fun. It's to play these special Spider-Man cards that come out. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. I grew up with him since I was little. First movie I can even recall seeing is Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. So that's the main reason why I'm making this deck. And now the main reason why I'm not making him Cosmic Spider-Man is because honestly I haven't pulled him and I'm trying to not buy any cards right now. I just want to see what I randomly get from packs. So if you're in the same boat as me, if you just like the randomness of packs, hit that like and subscribe button. So let's get into this deck. Now this first section we're going to cover is going to be ramp. There's creature ramp and mana ramp. So with our commander essentially being, our deck being 5 colors, we're going to have to get a lot of mana. So first one's going to be Spider-Man Manifestation. And we're just going to kind of go through this quick since it is 100 cards. Guy in the Chair. It is Genki. It is not, I can't remember his name right now from the movies, and I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Ned Leeds. It is not Ned Leeds, as you can read in the description. Heads Up Miles. This is Genki from Spider-Man PS4, PS5 really. Beast Caller Servant. Scaled Herbalist. Wow, I couldn't say the name for a second. And then we got Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary. He basically lets us go get a new land, a basic land. We got Spider-Bot. Supportive Parents, which I do like this. This card with the new web-slinging ability, which means if you guys haven't heard of it yet, let me just grab this back. You may cast a spell for green and 2 if you also return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. So this is also like a new feature. With Supportive Parents, we can kind of get, our web slinging going on. Then we got Burnished Heart. Then we have Pictures of Spider-Man. When this artifact enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Pay 1, sacrifice this artifact, create a treasure token. The only reason why I have this in the ramp section is because of that bottom ability. This is a really good card in general, just to be able to get your creatures that you want. Commander Sphere, Hot Dog Cart. When this artifact enters, create a food token, and you can tap for 1. Arcane Signet. Soul Stone. I was so happy when I pulled this card finally after so many packs. So we have black and 1. Legendary artifact, Infinity Stones. So I truly believe that we're getting all of them. And we're also getting a gauntlet. But that's just me. If you think so, leave in the comment. So we have Indestructible. Tap, add a black. Pay 6 and a black. Tap. Exile a creature you control. Harness the Soul Stone. Once harnessed, its Infinity ability is activated. Infinity. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Amazing card. And I truly believe it's going to be a new staple in all black. And in any deck that has black in it. Then we have the Seal. Timeless Lotus. Soul Ring, of course. Gilded Lotus. Search for Tomorrow. Cultivate. And Rampant Growth, along with Growth Spiral. And then this one, Ramos Dragon Engine. He's mainly in this deck because of all those colors we could possibly get. I had this card in my dragon deck. It recently got dismantled, which we'll get to that at the end of the video if you want to know why. It recently got dismantled, and I kind of thought this is my new 5-color deck. I just want to put them in here. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be it for the RAM section. Let's move on to the next one. Now, these top 5 cards or so are creature cards that I believe that everybody should be running, truthfully. We have Aunt May. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. It's a spider, put +1/+1 count on it. Whole deck is basically spiders, so that's going to be very beneficial. We're then going to have Spider-Punk, which he has Riot. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered. Damage can't be prevented. This could get nasty real quick. You have to be prepared. You also cannot counter your opponent's stuff, which we do have some counter spells in here, but they can do other stuff. We'll get to that later. Alright. We have Radioactive Spider, Reach Death Touch, pay 2, sack it, search your library for a Spider Hero card, reveal it, put it in your hand, activate only as sorcery. And then we have one of my favorite abilities in this deck. Artifacts and creatures your opponent's control enter tapped. That is going to be a game changer. For 2, that's insane. Then we have Peter Parker, pay 2. When Peter Parker enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. Then you can pay, transform Peter, activate only as a sorcery. You can also pay that cost initially and have him transform on the other side immediately when you come out. And let me show you what he is on the other side. Alright, we have the amazing Spider-Man. Vigilance Reach. Each legendary spell you cast that's 1 or more colors has web slinging. Green, white, blue. That's insane. That means a lot of our bigger creatures we have in this deck, we can just smack them down for 3 energy. That's absolutely wild. Alright, let's keep moving on. Next up, we have Miles Morales, green and 1, another transformed creature. When Miles enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Transform Miles for a white, green, red, and 3. Let's check them out on the other side. Here we have Ultimate Spider-Man. First Strike, Haste, Camouflage. Pay 2, put a +1/+1 counter on Ultimate Spider-Man. He gains Hexproof and becomes colorless until end of turn. When you attack, double the number of each kind of counter on each spider and legendary creature you control. Now this, paired up with Aunt May, once we start getting spiders down the field, we're doubling every single attack phase. That's insane. Alright, let's keep moving on. The next few creatures after this, I'm gonna just go through. Truthfully, it's a lot of reading, and I'll have the deck list posted in the description below, so if you guys want to check it out, just go down there. It's gonna be the same for the lands. We're gonna speed through the lands later on, just because it can get pretty hefty. All right, let's keep moving on. All right, so we're just gonna move past these. If you guys want to read them, just pause the video. I'll go slow enough for you guys so you guys can actually get a full thing. Some people, they pull way too fast. You kind of have to slow down the video. But we're just going to slowly pull these away. If you guys are pulling from this set, let me know your favorite card that you've either pulled or that you are currently chasing right now. It took me forever to find a Soulstone, but I had people at my local game store pulling 5 of them. And of course, it's one of those staple cards, so they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it in my deck." Which, I don't blame them. But I also wanted the card. I did really want John Jonah Jameson, though. I will say that. All right, I think we have one more, and that's just Spider Islanders. Let me know if you guys find any card in here that you guys would take out. Also, let me know. I'm very open to the criticism. Let me know what you guys are thinking and what you guys would do differently. Let's move on to the next section. All right, this next section is going to be counter/utility and control. So we have school days, and I know with Spider-Punk we cannot counter stuff, but a lot of our stuff a lot of our counter spells also have a secondary option. And if we end up not even getting Spider-Punk, you still be able to do this. We have School Days, which is a good card for drawing a card. Then we have Spider Sense, which I love. Has a web sling ability. Also, even if we have Spider-Punk down, this card says counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. We could counter a triggered ability if we don't like it with this card. Pretty nice. Then we have Amazing Acrobatics, which we could tap 1 or 2 target creatures if we have Spider-Punk down, so this is also utility. And then we have Spell Pierce, which this is the only it doesn't do something else, basically. It doesn't have 2 abilities. And this is the only one that we could not do if Spider-Punk was down. So, I think it's still worth it to have 4. They all do different things. Let's move on to the next section. Alright, in this section we have Friendly Neighborhood, which this is going to be kind of it's slight swarm. The next card, you understand what I'm talking about. Now, when this ore enters, create 3 1/1 green and white human citizen creature tokens. It's alright, but you also get to target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature you control. We have a lot of creatures, so it's going to be a lot. And that's the big hitter right here. This is why I call this a swarm. Arachnogenesis. Create X 1/2 green spider creature tokens with reach, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by non-spider creatures. So if we have a big person swinging at a lot of creatures on the field, game ending. We could pop Arachnogenesis, get all of this, and possibly win the game next turn. It's iffy, but I love it. And I love this card art. Look at that. If you know what comic book this is from, leave it down in the description. Alright, and let's move on to the next portion. This next portion is just to get our creatures big and beefy. So we have Web Shooters. It gets +1/+1 and has reach. Whenever this creature attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. So we're kind of just whipping them down. Grow Extra Arms. Costs 1 less to cast if it targets a spider, which we are. Target creature gets +4/+4 until the end of turn. Then we have Thwip, +2/+2, and flying, and we could possibly gain 2 life. Then we have Spectacular Tactics. Lots of options here. I love it. We also get to destroy a target creature if we want to. Alright. Next section. We're almost done, guys. Alright. This first card, one of my new favorites. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control, then destroy all creatures. So we could have a big explosive board wipe on this one, honestly. We could possibly even take somebody out the game. Parker Luck. I love this. Don't know if I'm going to end up keeping this in the deck, but just because it said Peter Parker, it was Spider-Man, I kept it in. Kind of reveal the top card of both players' of 2 target players' library. They both lose life equal to the cards revealed by the other player. Then they put them in their hand. We have Garruk's Uprising, Terminate, Secret Identity. I do like this because you get the pick of Conceal or Reveal. Nice little. And then this is the one random card I have in this deck. Also, the last card I have before we just kind of get to the lands. I only have this card in here because it says your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. It's also a 5/7, just big hitter. We could web sling this in. If there's other, I possibly could just change this out. There's other cards that say your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. I know that, but this is the card I had on deck, so I put it in. Alright, let's just quickly get to the lands, and that will be the end of the video. Alright, let's get down to these lands. So we got... This will be quick. This is mainly just to showcase the art and what they did. I love it. Let me know what your favorite art style is from this in the comments. We got all the thrivings. and some new ones. And Temple of the False God. Alright. That's going to be the end of the video for the Morophon the Boundless / Spider-Verse deck. Let me know in the comments if you guys appreciate this. And also, like I was talking about before, let me know if you guys want to see my VV deck that I have transformed into a VV Dragon's Approach deck. Let me know. Let me know if you guys would change anything. Again, I'm going to have the deck list in the comments down below. Alright. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you.